This is not your typical podcast.
Get ready for bold conversations with world changers.
Led by two unstoppable hosts with Down syndrome. The Audrey
And Jeremy Show!
Today, we welcome John and Kim Murphy.
They live in Ventura, California, and are partners in a nonprofit Flow Surf Academy.
Their journey into surf therapy started in the most unexpected way with their surfing dog, Harley Boy. What began as fun days at the beach and watching their pup ride the waves quickly turned into something more powerful. People will stop, smile, and connect. They realized that the ocean had a unique way of bringing joy and healing, not just to them, but to everyone around them.
Stick around to hear more about Kim and John's purpose in helping share the magic of the ocean with people of all abilities.
Hi everybody, we are back. In this episode, we're going to talk to John and Kim about their successful nonprofit, Flow Surf Academy. Jeremy, would you like to start the very first question of the day?
Sweet. So, my question is, what is flow?
John, do you want to take this one or me?
Why don't you go, Sweets?
Okay, Flow Surf Academy. First of all, it stands for Love of Waves. Because we all love waves, right, Jeremy?
Yeah.
And we're a local nonprofit to the 805 community. And we provide surfing days for people with special needs. Any need, any disability.
Cool.
That's really awesome.
What do you like about surfing with people with disabilities?
Oh my gosh, Audrey, how much time do we have?
I have no idea.
I love everything about it. First of all, I feel like in my personal life, I'm not an orthodontist, but I work for an orthodontist, and I love working with kids, and I found that I have a special connection with those with special needs. People can't always verbalize how they're feeling, but for some reason I'm able to sense it and kind of work around whatever issues that they may be having with having their teeth worked on. And I find that that's really important for me in this surf therapy space that we're in, because I'm able to connect with people, and I feel like that's a much deeper connection than you can just have every day in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm just really excited to see you guys.
We're so excited to see you guys.
So, when do you guys start Flow? Like, when exactly you started working with Flow?
Well, we started working with Flow. We partnered up with the founder. His name is Pat Nataro. We started with him in the summer of 2023. And so we're going into our second season, and we are so excited because it's just taken off. We have such amazing support. And I feel like since John and I have been doing this for the last 12, 13 years of our life, we've really found our spot. So we're excited about this.
You know our dog, Holly,
Yes.
right? So Holly put us on this mission 13 years ago. And, you know, we lost him 4 years ago.
5 years ago.
And now we have Poncho.
Wow.
So we've been blessed, you know. He put us on this mission 13 years ago, and we've gotten to meet families and individuals and kids and all over the United States. And if we really think about it, that's the reason why we're here right now, was because of a four-legged animal, right? Because if he didn't put us on this mission 13 years ago, introduce us to surf therapy and what we've gotten to do with work with our dog with, you know, individuals, then we wouldn't be here right now. We wouldn't be here talking about this. And so getting Poncho now, and like we say, it's we really feel that Holly, you know, brought us an angel, because to get a dog to surf twice in a lifetime and to do the work being able to put athletes on the board with a dog for the second time in life, I've never seen it before. And Poncho's very special. And Jeremy, I know you've surfed with Holly, and you've surfed with Poncho.
So when you guys started to surf before Flow, have you done that before?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Kim and I were surfing in the Ventura community, and you know, Holly started surfing one day. He was four years old, and we used to take turns surfing, and we would each play with Holly on the beach. And then one day I came in on my surfboard, and I was in the water there, and Holly walked out on my surfboard and stood on it. And I turned around, and I gave him a little push, and we were like, "Whoa, check this dude out!" So we just started surfing him every weekend, a little more and more and more. And you know, to tell you how we kind of got started on this was the Ventura community. We have a big surf and band event called the Surf Rodeo up in Ventura, and it's a big party on the beach. There's bands on the beach, and Holly was getting kind of popular in town, you know, surfing, and he was out surfing waves with everybody. And the owner of Surf Rodeo says, "Hey, will you bring Holly down and do a demonstration on the beach, because he's the surf rodeo in the community?" We're like, "Yeah." So we did, and we go down there, and there was this organization was doing a little demonstration with some athletes in the water too at the same time. Well, we went out and we surfed at the same time. And so on our way out, we got stopped by the person that we're partners with right now, Pat Notaro and a guy named Matt Noble. And they were just starting their first organization for the second season, and they said, "Hey, would you mind bringing Holly to our event in Ventura next week?" And we're like, "Well, what do you guys do? You know, we don't know what..." We're like, "Well, we serve people with special needs, and this is what we do." We did that the next week, and that's how it all started. We never missed it. We had never missed an event, East Coast or West Coast, for the 10, 11 years, and we surfed all over, and we felt that, you know, we feel that this is was something that was gifted to us by the man upstairs through an animal, but it's just kind of been our purpose in life. So yeah.
That is a great story.
I love that story.
You know, she says I talk a lot. I talk a lot because I really feel, you know, lucky in my life to be able to help people and families. And the best part about it is getting to share it, right? And making people smile. There's nothing better than walking away from the beach when you see a family smiling, you see an athlete smiling, and you get to see all the volunteers and everybody that's there helping smiling.
Yeah.
Right?
Love that.
It's sweet having a dog with you. If you're like
Yeah.
a dog owner,
Yeah.
and when like dogs go down to the beach, they're like, "Oh, can I pet your dog?" Have you ever had that experience when people come up to you and be like, "Oh, what's its name? It's so cute." Do you have that?
Yeah, actually, we have a little bit even more than that, because when Howley was surfing all the time, he became, a fixture in the lineup in Ventura. And now that Poncho's doing it, people watch from the promenade, and they tell us all the time that watching Poncho surf made their day. So not only do they want to meet him, they want to follow him on Instagram, they want to know what he's doing, what he's about. So it's pretty special to be able to connect with people through your dog.
Yeah, so if you remember Holly was so chill.
Yeah.
Right? He was so chill. I mean, he's the old soul surfer. But Poncho has a lot of energy. But he loves the water. And I'm sure Jeremy got to see, but after every wave, he'll never ride his board all the way to the shore and walk off like Holly did. He jumps off because for some reason, I've never taught him, we never showed him, but he jumps off his board because he grabs the little leash and he takes his board and drags it up on the beach after every wave.
That is adorable.
That's cute.
Then,
really
yeah,
cool.
so, I always have swim fins on when I'm out there. And then now, after he drags the board up, he swims out to get my swim fin to take it in after every wave. He just does it on his own. I don't know if that's the retriever part of him as a Labrador, but I always hand, volunteers in the water. I give them a fin. They're like, "What's up?" I'm like, "Well, turn around. Here he comes." Because he comes and gets a fin, takes it back. So he's nonstop swimming, bringing his board in, surfing with kids. And trust me, after the end of the day, he'll be sleeping for 2-3 days.
That's what I was.
You know, he's a work. That's his work, and he loves the water. He loves
Surfing
it.
makes you
He
tired,
does.
right, Jeremy?
Yep,
Yeah, that's what I
absolutely.
felt.
Right? Yeah.
Maybe it was kind of funny that it worked out like that. It started
Yeah.
with Holly Boy, and
Yep.
then I think he learned from his mom.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
what happened was Howley, as a puppy, saw us surfing and felt like he wanted to be part of the family. So he started surfing. We had no idea we had this incredible surfing dog. And then, yeah, when he passed away, I think he, as an angel, helped guide us Poncho so we could continue doing the work that Howley loved to do so much.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like a family thing.
It's
Yeah.
a family
It's-
thing.
It is
Yeah.
a big
Yeah.
thing.
Totally.
That's
You
right.
know, when we got Poncho, my goal was, I don't think I'll ever get another Howley. It's not going to happen. And I always said, if I can get half of Howley on a surfboard, we're going to be cool, as long as we can continue doing the work. And from 6 to 7 months old, I took, a couple of our local surfers and put them on the front of the board with Poncho before I felt comfortable to putting an athlete on there. Because when I put an athlete on the board with them, I'm just as responsible. I got to give them a good experience, right?
Yeah.
And he just did it. He was doing it, and I was like, whoa. And he surfed so many kids already. At it, his first time was, I think, 7-8 months at the most. And our little buddy upstairs, he's definitely watching over him. There's no way else to put it. I feel, and that a lot of people feel. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That was very sweet.
Yeah.
That was heartwarming.
That's
It
what
is.
That's
It
what.
is. It's. I get very emotional talking about it. I cry a lot. Everybody laughs at me, but I don't care. I cry. It is what it is. When I speak at our surf camp days, and I get emotional. I cry. But it's all for joy, and I'm proud of what we do, and I'm proud of everybody that's there, and I'm proud of being able to help people. So later on in my life here, it's a gift. It really is.
How do you get the kids involved with surfing?
So basically, what's been really nice is we have some families that have been surfing for a really long time, and then they tell their friends. And then we do outreach in our community with the local organizations that can assist, or we get the word out via social media so that families can be aware that we provide these free days for them, and they'll sign up on the website and come on out. But what we're finding is we are getting new families. I don't even know where they're pouring out from. So the word is spreading that we have this program available. It's pretty magical. We also have a portion of the nonprofit called Wave Warriors Program, which is a private lesson portion of the nonprofit that is, we are vendored through the Tri-Counties Regional Center, and state determination self-determination, can help aid to get these athletes private lessons.
Yep.
So I think just through, our community now, people learning about flow, it's bringing in a lot of new families, which we are so excited about.
Yes, it is. And I think, Jeremy, you being a surfer, getting to see new athletes coming in and feeling the power of, the ocean being able to help heal and spread, make you be able to do more things in life. I really think that, that's one thing that we're really asking athletes like yourself that are surfing on their own is, hey, we want you guys to be helping out, and showing, hey, this is how, man, I do this on my own, man. This is where it's at, and I want to help people, and that's what we embrace, and that's what we're trying to bring in kind of the flow culture is it's all about ability. So, yeah.
So my question: how do you seeing people surfing on their own, how'd that make you feel seeing them surfing on their own?
Well, first of all, John cried, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's, I'll be honest. So on the Wave Warrior side, which is the private lessons and the surf camps, that's where the individuals were up to 4 days a week now. And that's where they're actually the one-on-one, where they're, really teaching and showing them and being, hey, you're going to get in your own wetsuits. We're teaching how to get boards in and out of the water and really teaching how to surf on their own. So your family, you guys can go to the beach as a family and have a great day surfing, playing, and being just as good as anybody else in any certain day at the beach. And what else is kind of cool is we have the parents surfing too. Parents that are like, I'm not going out there. We're like, yeah, you are. And then they come, and then they're standing up, they're surfing next to their kids, and then they're going, whoa, this is pretty hard, man. But yeah, bringing the parents in, surfing out there with you guys and all the athletes has been, to me, just a whole family deal and very organic and very fun.
So it makes us proud
It
that
does,
we can
absolutely.
provide this, that we have now worked so hard. Our partner, Pat, worked so hard to become a vendor for
Yep.
the Tri-Counties Regional Center so that we can share this gift. It's a pretty wonderful feeling.
That's awesome.
Yes, it is.
I heard from Jeremy that he wants to surf with his mom
Yes.
Yep.
and his aunt.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious if
Yeah, we're going to make that happen.
you can encourage them to surf with him.
Yes.
Yes.
So when your mom hears this, she better get ready.
Yeah.
we have everything she needs, Jeremy, right?
Yeah.
We got the wetsuit, we
Yeah.
have the surfboard, and she could surf right next to you and your aunt. That'd be amazing.
That would be a blessing.
Yes.
You know what else is kind of cool too? That's kind of we're working on right now, and it's starting to happen. Is we're actually getting custom wetsuit made. So like for
Oh,
you,
nice.
like if you want your own wetsuit, you're gonna have a custom wetsuit for yourself that you're gonna take home. That's yours. You know what I mean? So when you come to surf with Flo, you're not just we have incredible wetsuits and all that, but it's yours. That's your suit, and it's custom made for you. And our goal is to, as you're learning and surfing on your own, is you're going to get a surfboard.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, but the wetsuit thing, that's kind of cool. That we want everybody to have their own stuff.
Yeah.
Have your own equipment.
I know. Yep.
Is actually I actually, when you said custom wetsuit, I actually have one,
I know.
Oh, nice.
and it's from Japan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's got an axe.
Yeah.
Did you love it?
I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
And now I got I got a surfboard on my birthday. It's a Stone Blade,
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect.
and I was like, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of nice to have your own wetsuit, right?
yeah,
Heck
Yeah.
yeah. Heck yeah. You want to fit nice, right?
yeah.
You fit, it fits you nice. You're warm in the water. You get.
There's
to walk,
other reasons, but I don't want to talk about them.
But it's yeah.
Yeah,
Right? We
You know what
know
I'm
those
saying,
reasons,
Jeremy.
right?
yeah, I do.
But you get to wash it, you get to take care of it, and it's
Yeah.
yours. That's something that actually the first wetsuit just came in, and yeah, it's kind of cool for an athlete named Aiden, and he's literally probably he's a really big kid.
Yeah.
He's like a 4X. But we've had this wetsuit custom made for him, and now
Ryan got a custom wetsuit too.
Ryan got a custom wetsuit, and it's just a lot of these kids are big kids, and it's hard to
Yeah.
find a wetsuit to fit. And now we're getting these custom suits made to where before they were having maybe some issues going into water because they didn't feel right in a very tight wetsuit. And so we're working with a wetsuit guy that's just starting to make these suits for them and making everybody feel comfortable, just like everybody else, and just having a good time, man. Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Yep.
Since I'm gonna start eventually,
Yep.
Yes.
I feel like I need a custom made suit.
Oh, well, you
Yeah.
need something with flowers, first
Yeah.
of all.
Yeah.
That's me. I don't like the boring black wetsuit,
Audrey.
I have
It'd be
black
a
one.
great logo to add. That is Flo.
That's
Yes.
right. That
Yes.
would be a great logo to have on your custom
Yeah.
wetsuit.
You know, all the girl like Kim, she's got to have, you know, pink wetsuits and this and that because she loves flowers. And I will say, so we've been fortunate that O'Neill Wetsuits has partnered up with us now. And so most of the girl wetsuits do have flowers on them.
Oh, that's
Oh,
pretty,
that's nice.
That's pretty
nice.
cool.
I do love flowers though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you get a new? Okay, hold on. I want to see if I'm saying this right.
Okay.
For a beginner surfer who starts your program, how would you get them out of their comfort zone?
Well, that's not always easy because there's a lot of anxiety and
Yep.
nervousness about that, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the beautiful things about our volunteers is they're there to make people comfortable. So sometimes maybe they don't want to get in the water right away, so they're
Yeah.
playing in the sand or they're feeling the water with their toes,
Yeah.
or the surf instructor can come up and they could talk about what their favorite TV show is or what their favorite song is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just make them feel a little bit more comfortable. Also, just a side note, is that is also a really useful tool with Poncho.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, if people see that a dog is safe in the water, then they want to go in the water as well.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of ways to kind of help ease everybody's way into getting on the surfboard. But guess what? Always, every single time they do it, they come back in happy and relaxed.
Yeah.
Oh, that is good.
Yeah.
That's like,
So if you had to give advice to a new family
Right?
about surfing in the ocean, because some people are scared of the ocean,
Right.
Absolutely.
what would that advice be?
My advice would be to come, check it out, you know, maybe spend a day just to see what it's all about if you don't want to jump right into it. But then just know that we have very skilled, trained, competent people that are going to take your child out and be safe. We're very proud that we're going to have all of our instructors CPR certified. Our water safety team, many of them are already CPR certified.
Yeah.
We've all been trained in assisting with any emergencies, and we have a first aid team. So I think that's all very important information for a family to come and know that, number one, safety's our number one factor.
Yeah.
yeah.
So once we have that in place, then you can see kind of how everybody gets treated, right? Everybody's cared for in the wetsuit area, getting the proper wetsuit on. And then when you're all done, you have some food, get some drinks, and get a really rad trophy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
fun.
That's a blessing because honestly, we have a like there. My first, it was actually my mom's windshield, not windshield, but on the side of her windshield, I had a trophy, and it's also a flow trophy.
Oh,
The surfboard.
It's
nice.
surfboard. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a family thing.
It is a family thing. It's a blessing that how people like in a way that athletes can do it. Like especially
Oh, of
Absolutely.
course.
Yeah.
like especially like with all intellectual disabilities can surf on
That's
their own.
right.
But one day it's gonna happen. Like when I first started surfing on my own, it was in August of 2022, and I was like, I can do this, and I did it.
Yeah.
And I was with that Doheny, and I was with Tim Murphy, and I was like, you know what? I started it, and then afterwards, I'm still continuing. I am surfing tomorrow at 10 o'clock.
I got to go to work, and you're gonna go surf. Thanks.
Yeah.
You know, I was 37 when I started surfing.
Wow.
And I was terrified.
Yeah.
So I can imagine if you've never even really been to the beach or been in the ocean, how scary that is. Because I
Yeah.
grew up going to the beach and being in the ocean. I was so nervous to be on that surfboard.
Yeah.
But then you catch your first wave and then you love it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
that's it. You're hooked.
Not
Yeah.
a better feeling, huh, Jeremy?
Yep.
Right.
So my question is, athletes who use wheelchairs, what do float do when people like in wheelchairs, like people like athletes on wheelchair? What will you do with that person, with the athlete?
So we do have wheelchairs that go on the sand. So, we will get them in the wheelchair, the beach wheelchairs with the big blown up tires that roll on the sand.
Yeah.
We get them into the wetsuits. We'll get them down in the water. And we have multiple volunteers, that are going to help and get that, what we kind of like to do, depending on the athlete and what their physical,
Abilities are.
ability is. It's one thing we're going to do is we have an instructor that's sitting on a board, and we can also embrace them on their lap, or if they're good to lay down, on their own. But it's just kind of what we were talking about a little earlier. It's each athlete's got a special little
Yeah.
situation of what's gonna maybe how you're gonna put them on the board or how everybody's gonna act. So
Yes.
that's the kind of the uniqueness about athletes is everybody's different
Yeah.
and everybody adapts to it. So that's what's cool about it. And
We go with the flow.
we go with the flow.
See what I did there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we did last night.
Yeah.
So my question, what is Ohana Day for Flow?
Ohana Day is what we call our free family surf days. We call it the Ohana Day, which means family, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we call our Ohana surf days.
So it's a day we surf
Yep.
from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. and we do a morning session, so from 9 to 11, and then we break for lunch and we finish up from noon to 2, and we'll split our athletes up into an a.m. or a p.m. session, and we surf, we have breakfast, we have lunch, we have trophies, and that's our Ohana Day, and that's free for the families. And we provide all the equipment and all the volunteers.
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
It's so awesome.
Yeah. And then what do we do afterwards, Jeremy?
We get a green.
We
What's
We're gonna get the hell in Ohio.
Yeah, we usually go and we'll go to some place and eat some food, have some drinks,
Yeah.
some sodas, waters, and
Yeah.
maybe even a Hollywood lager or two every once in a while.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, but at the end, like again, it's all an incredible day. It's fun, and that's what we've created. We feel that we've created just nothing but a day of joy for everybody. So
Yeah, that sounds great. That sounds like really fun.
Yeah.
Maybe I could convince my family to come.
Yes.
We would love
Yeah.
that.
That'd be
Yeah.
awesome, actually.
yeah,
My brother knows how to surf, and my dad does.
yeah.
Except with my
But
brother.
I am a beach person. I
Right.
was born and raised on a beach.
Gosh.
So my whole life we've been to like Newport Beach because that's where I lived.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I do like to boogie board,
Hey.
Okay, well, that's fun.
which
done
is
that.
probably the closest way to surf. I
Right.
think, like
Yeah.
body
Yeah.
surfing or
It is,
something.
actually.
So we
Exactly.
do have
Yeah.
we do have big boogie boards. They're pretty cool. They're pretty fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's absolutely. We have all that, and yeah, I mean, if you want a boogie board, you boogie board. You boogie.
Oh,
Yeah, I love that
yes.
one. I love that one. Very. It's cool. To be honest, I could read the ocean, and
Yeah.
How
and,
can
and
you,
now,
how can you read the ocean?
That's what you learn as a
That's what-
surfer.
yeah,
surfer,
as
yeah.
a surfer, you have to read the ocean.
Yeah,
Have you ever feel the vibrations?
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was actually fun. And it was really cool how I know and I feel and what I like acknowledge the ocean is the current
The current.
It is.
Yeah.
and the peak kind of.
Yeah, the current, the peak. That's as a surfer, that's what you learn, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's all about learning the ocean.
Yep.
Yep.
This is just a question. Are you guys strong swimmers?
I would say yes. Most of my life, I've been a very strong swimmer.
Awesome.
I've been in water my whole life, whether it's a pool, the river, water skier,
Yep.
ocean. I love the water. I think the older you get, the less confident I feel. So I have a healthy fear of the ocean. So I never take it for granted. And sometimes I feel like Not sure how far I could actually swim in those situations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you?
You know, I'm gonna say I'm not a top swimmer. You know, when I'm out there with poncho, I have fins on.
Yeah.
And obviously they do help out a lot. But I will say one time I got caught in a rip out with, I think it was, 7-8 years ago. And I got caught in a rip and I got pulled under. And it was like, whoa, like, oh,
Yeah.
hey, what's going on here? And, you really weren't in control. So as Jeremy is saying about reading currents and that type of stuff, rips are real bad. Rip currents are bad. And I've been caught in one. And I will say, it played with my mind a little bit, absolutely. But you just got to, panicking was something that I actually did for about 10 seconds. And then once I calmed down and started swimming sideways along, out of it instead of swimming in or out, we got out of it, but then we're like, whoa, that was kind of the real deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mother Nature, she's in charge all the time.
Yeah, she's vicious. She's
Yeah.
vicious.
Yeah.
She
she's
can
in
be.
charge.
She certainly can be.
Yeah. Because, when I take poncho out, I'm way out there, and after I push him, I got to swim in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And after you do that 20, 30 times a day, I'm getting old. I get pretty tired.
Yeah.
So I just swim on my back. I do the backstroke in. I catch, body surf in, but I swim on my back, and I just kick with my feet.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, because otherwise I'm totally tired.
So my question, what is the future for Flow?
So we're committed to serving the 805 community,
Yeah.
so between Ventura and Pismo Beach. And then we want to just keep providing those private lessons. So
Yes.
I think the future for Flow is very bright.
Just keep spreading the flow love.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
and like I think what we Kim and I and Pat and all the people that get to volunteers and instructors at work is we get to be able to make a difference.
Yeah.
And that's what means a lot to us.
Yeah.
That's a great,
You know.
amazing story.
Right.
I really want to do another Flow event and surf on my own and see what people think what I can do.
Heck yeah, come on out.
You're like we were talking a little before.
Yeah.
There's many of athletes that you've surfed with throughout the years that are now surfing on their own.
Yeah.
And how cool is it going to be when all of you are on a wave, party wave?
Party wave.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're surfing on your own.
Yeah.
And there's 5 or 6 of you. And then there's Poncho hanging out, cruising too with you. You know what? When families and other athletes on the beach see that, it's inspiring, man.
Yeah.
It's inspiring, right?
Yeah.
And think about it, Jeremy, and Aubrey too, is, you guys doing your podcast now. Tell me, like surfing, you're able to surf on your own, okay? But you can't tell me that it hasn't like given you the confidence to do other things in your life so far, and it's just like, whoa,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that's what we're excited about with Flow, is we're providing an opportunity for people to be self-sufficient, and nothing better than saying, hey, Mom, let's go to the beach for the day, and you're bringing your own surfboard, and you're surfing,
Yep.
Yeah.
and your mom feels confident with you in the water. And look, it just brings you on this other journey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all about confidence and bravery.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
We done random questions for a bunch
Yes.
of our podcasts.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
let's go.
Let's
Yep.
do it.
I just
All right.
pull it out.
Yeah, you just pull it out.
Pull it
then
out
we
at
get-
random?
And then we
Feel free
all
to
get
have
to
some
answer the
chocolates.
question.
We're all going to answer it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. If you could make a wish that would absolutely come true tomorrow morning, what would you wish for?
Whoa.
Mine's easy.
What is it?
What is it?
Retirement. So I could
Yes.
be working
Yeah.
working with Flow full time.
Yep.
How about you,
How are
John?
you, Don?
I think mine would be that tomorrow if I woke up, man, there's so many, but mine would be obviously retirement also, but be able to surf more and just be able to, if everybody could just show more love to one another throughout this, throughout the world, and and be able to be on the beach and express and just have a good time in life, man. It's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
life's pretty fast paced these days. A lot of
Yes,
stress.
I agree.
And it's
agree.
like, hey, if everybody could chill a little more, yeah, I mean, it would be pretty cool just to, you know, yeah.
Audrey, I'm excited to hear what yours
Yeah.
is.
If I had to make a wish that I wake up tomorrow, I think it would be having the chance to surf.
There you go.
There you go.
That's my answer.
I think you took Jeremy's answer.
No, we already know Jeremy's
I know
surfing
my-
tomorrow.
I am surfing tomorrow. My wish is actually when I wake up tomorrow morning, it will be new families for Flo.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's a good wish.
You know, it's way cool is that there's so many new families signed up for carp.
Yeah.
And you know, it's very neat is that we get to meet these new families and new athletes, and that's the cool part about what's going on with Flo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
So-
how do we find you guys?
Okay, well, you can see us. Well, John and I are always roaming around Ventura, but I
Yeah.
know that's not what you meant.
We're not gonna follow you guys there.
Yeah.
So our social media, all social media, and our website is flowsurfacademy.org, and flows with a W, FLOW, and that's where you can find out all the information. We try to stay really active on social media, and our website, I feel, is very informative, and that's how you sign up to be a volunteer or a family,
Awesome.
or reach out to help support us, because, you know, we didn't mention, and I'm always think it's implied, but we are a nonprofit, and we're funded solely by donations
Yeah.
and sponsorship.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. I would say it's probably a lot more work than what we anticipated. You
But
know.
so worth it.
You know, we have full-time jobs, and Flo is probably our
Not me.
our second.
My
or
wish is
third.
gonna
I
come
know.
true.
Yeah. So it is a lot of work.
Yeah.
But it's very rewarding. But yes, we do need finances to provide these incredible free days and surf camps. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the one cool thing is that also to keep our equipment up to date,
Yeah.
we try to provide the best equipment. So yeah, it's really rad.
Yeah. So thank you guys for coming.
Oh my gosh,
you for
Audrey,
coming.
Jeremy, thank you so much. This was so
In
fun.
the end, you guys want some 80 chocolates?
Yeah, I want a Hershey kiss for sure.
Thank you so much.
So it's
Thank you.
been great talking to you guys.
You too.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
I can't wait
Best
to
day.
hear more about it. And
Yeah.
we're done.
We're done.
Right on. Cool.
Thank you.